Carl Jung discovered something terrifying about narcissists that most people never see coming. When they realize they can't control you anymore, they don't just walk away. They deploy one final devastating manipulation that can destroy years of healing in a matter of weeks. If you don't recognize it, you'll fall right into their trap, which could undo everything you've worked so hard to achieve. This is a psychological trap designed to keep you stuck and vulnerable. Understanding this final phase of their manipulation is crucial to protecting yourself and reclaiming your power. You need to be aware of these tactics so you can see through their schemes before they completely derail your progress and cause long-lasting damage to your mental health and emotional well-being. But before I reveal this last dirty trick, you need to understand the psychological warfare that leads up to it. Carl Jung said that the narcissist's greatest fear is rejection or abandonment. It's the moment when their victim becomes psychologically stronger than they are. Recognizing this shift is vital because it triggers their deepest insecurities and causes and escalates their efforts to regain control over you, no matter the cost. They thrive on maintaining their illusion of superiority, and your growth threatens that fragile ego. By understanding the psychological game they play, you'll be better prepared to resist their manipulation and stand firm in your own strength, which is exactly what they fear most. This awareness is your first line of defense against their final, destructive move. According to Jung's research on the shadow self, narcissists project their own weakness onto others to maintain an illusion of superiority. But when you start healing, when you begin setting boundaries and refuse and play their games, something shifts in their psyche. Jung called this the power inversion crisis, and what happens next will shock you. They are incredibly threatened by your progress because it exposes their own inner emptiness and fragility. As you heal and take back control of your life, they feel the ground shifting beneath their feet, leading them to lash out in desperation. This moment of upheaval in their psyche is what triggers their most dangerous tactics, which, if you're unprepared, can destroy your confidence and undo your healing process entirely. Recognizing these signs early can help you navigate this dangerous phase safely. See, narcissists aren't just looking for someone to love them. They're hunting for someone to control, someone whose energy they can feed off of. Carl Jung discovered that these individuals operate from what he termed the inflated ego, a psychological state where they must constantly prove their dominance to avoid confronting their own inner emptiness. They don't just want superficial admiration. They crave total domination over your mind, emotions, and life. When they see you starting to heal, become more assertive, or establish boundaries, they perceive this as a threat to their entire identity. This is why they escalate their tactics. They see your growth as a personal attack on their fragile self-image. Their goal is to keep you in a perpetual state of confusion and dependency, so they can maintain their illusion of control and superiority, no matter how much damage they cause to your well-being in the process. When you were weak, confused, or seeking their approval, you served their purpose perfectly. You were their psychological supply, their validation machine. But the moment you start standing in your own power, the moment you stop seeking their approval and start trusting your own instincts, you become a threat to their entire identity. And that's when they pull out the weapon Jung warned us about. They recognize your strength as the one thing standing between them and total dominance, and they will do everything possible to destroy it. This is a pivotal moment where their tactics become even more insidious, aiming to strip away your confidence and make you doubt yourself. They will attack your sense of self, your achievements, and your self-trust, try to revert you back into a state of dependence so they can regain control before you fully realize your own power and potential. According to Carl Jung, narcissists will use a technique called psychological projection warfare. When they sense they're losing control, they don't just gaslight you or play the victim anymore. They launch what Jung described as a final assault on your individuation process. This is a calculated strategy designed to threaten your identity and your sense of self as an independent, autonomous person. Here's what that looks like and why it's so dangerous. They start by targeting your newfound strength itself. Remember how they used to criticize your weaknesses? Now they flip the script entirely, aiming to undermine your self-esteem and confidence. Their goal is to destabilize you emotionally so that you question your own perceptions and judgments. This psychological warfare can be subtle or overt, but its purpose is clear: to keep you emotionally hostage and prevent your personal growth from flourishing, no matter how much healing you've achieved. Here's what that looks like and why it's so dangerous. They start by targeting your newfound strength itself. Remember how they used to criticize your weaknesses? Now they flip the script entirely. Carl Jung said this is because they recognize that your strength is the one thing standing between them and total control over you. They'll say things like, "You've changed, and not in a good way. You used to be so caring. Now you're just selfish. Success has really gone to your head. You think you're better than everyone." But here's the part Jung discovered that will make your blood run cold. This isn't random criticism. It's targeted, strategic, and meant to erode your self-esteem. According to Carl Jung's analysis of narcissistic behavior, they're specifically aiming at the qualities you value most, your confidence, independence, and integrity, because they know these are what make you strong and resilient, and they want to strip those away to regain control. This isn't random criticism. It's targeted, strategic, and meant to erode your self-esteem. According to Carl Jung's analysis of narcissistic behavior, they're specifically aiming at the qualities you value most, your confidence, independence, and integrity, because they know these are what make you strong and resilient, and they want to strip those away to regain control. They will call you cold if you've learned to set boundaries, aggressive if you've found your voice, and arrogant if you've built confidence. Jung called this strength shaming, a deliberate tactic designed to make you feel ashamed of your growth and independence. It's a cruel psychological weapon meant to keep you feeling small, insecure, and dependent on their approval. Recognizing this pattern is key to resisting their attempts to undermine your self-worth and to stand firm in your journey of healing and self-empowerment. But the real dirty trick is still coming. Carl Jung discovered that when strength shaming doesn't work, narcissists deploy what he termed nostalgic manipulation. They start reminiscing about the old you, the version of yourself that was easier to control. Remember when you used to laugh at my jokes? You were so much happier before you started reading all those self-help books. I miss the person you used to be. We had such a good relationship before you changed. According to Jung, this is psychological time travel, an emotional pull designed to make you long for the past version of yourself that was more malleable and controllable. They're not missing the real, authentic you. They're missing the version they can manipulate easily. If you're not careful, you'll start nostalgia and longing for that past version, which makes it easier for them to reel you back into old patterns and dependencies. Recognizing this manipulation helps you stay grounded in your present growth and resist their efforts to drag you back into control. But here's where Jung's research gets truly disturbing. When both strength shaming and nostalgic manipulation fail, narcissists will deploy their most dangerous weapon, manufactured vulnerability. Carl Jung said that narcissists are masterful at recognizing your deepest compassion and using it against you. They will suddenly become fragile, struggling, or going through a hard time, right when you're at your strongest. This is a dirty trick Jung warned us about, and it's more sinister than you think. They create a crisis. Maybe it's a health scare, financial trouble, family drama, or emotional breakdown, and they time it perfectly to coincide with your moment of strength. This strategic timing is designed to push you into acting out of guilt or obligation rather than your authentic self. Recognizing this tactic is crucial because it exposes their attempt to manipulate your empathy and kindness for their own gain, often leaving you drained, confused, and emotionally compromised. This is the dirty trick Jung warned us about, and it's more sinister than you think. They'll create a crisis. Maybe it's a health scare, financial trouble, family drama, or emotional breakdown, and they'll time it perfectly to coincide with your moment of strength. This strategic timing is designed to push you into acting out of guilt or obligation rather than your authentic self. According to Carl Jung, this isn't coincidence. It's calculated. Jung discovered that narcissists keep detailed mental notes about what makes you feel guilty, what triggers your caretaking instincts, and what causes you to abandon your boundaries. They weaponize your empathy against your healing, turning your own kindness into a tool of manipulation. This calculated strategy allows them to weaken your resolve while you're most vulnerable, making it even harder to see through their deception and stand firm in your boundaries. And here's the part that will make you question everything you thought you knew about them. Carl Jung said that narcissists will often manufacture these crises by creating the very problems they're asking you to help them solve. They'll sabotage their own relationships, their work, their health, anything to create a situation where you feel obligated to step in and save them. This is a calculated move designed to make you feel guilty for not doing enough, to keep you emotionally entangled, and to reinforce a control over you. According to Jung's research, this serves two purposes. It pulls you back into the caretaker role and proves to them that they still have power over you. This manipulation can be subtle or overt, but its goal is always the same. Keep you emotionally compromised so they can continue exploiting your kindness and compassion for their own benefit. This is a calculated move designed to make you feel guilty for not doing enough, to keep you emotionally entangled, and to reinforce their control over you. According to Jung's research, this serves two purposes. It pulls you back into the caretaker role and proves to them that they still have power over you. But Jung discovered something even more chilling about this manipulation. They don't just want your help. They want you to sacrifice your newfound strength to give it to them. They will ask you to compromise your boundaries, your values, and your peace of mind, all under the guise of needing help or support. This is their ultimate goal, to erode your sense of self, so you become more dependent on them, even as they pretend to care. Recognizing these tactics is essential to preserving your autonomy and resisting their destructive influence. Carl Jung observed that narcissists will specifically ask you to compromise the very boundaries and values you've worked hardest to establish. I know you don't usually lend money, but this is different. I know you said you needed space, but I really need you right now. I know you're trying to focus on yourself, but couldn't you just help me this once? According to Jung, every just this once is designed to break down the psychological barriers you built. It's a sneaky way to push you into crossing your own boundaries, weakening your self-trust, and making it easier for them to control you. These requests seem small or harmless on the surface, but they are part of a larger pattern aimed at eroding your independence. Recognizing this pattern allows you to stand firm and protect your boundaries, no matter how tempting or guilt-inducing their requests may be. They're not asking for help. They're asking you to prove that they still matter more than your own well-being. And if you fall for it, Jung warned, you'll lose everything you've worked for. This manipulation is a psychological trap designed to make you feel guilty for prioritizing your needs and boundaries. It's a subtle form of control that exploits your compassion and desire to help, turning it into a weapon against you. Recognizing these tactics early is crucial because it allows you to say no with confidence and protect your mental and emotional health. Remember, your well-being must always come first, and no one should guilt or manipulate you into sacrificing your peace for their convenience or needs. Carl Jung said that the most dangerous part of manufactured vulnerability is that it feels so real. The narcissist might genuinely be in crisis, but Jung discovered that they're experts at choosing which crisis to share with you and when. They have other people they could call, other resources they could use, but they come to you because they know you're the one most likely to sacrifice your boundaries to help them. This strategic selection makes their manipulations incredibly effective because you naturally feel compelled to help out of kindness and empathy. Recognizing this pattern helps you see through their carefully crafted crises, so you can avoid being manipulated into sacrificing your well-being. It empowers you to maintain your boundaries and prioritize your own needs over their manufactured emergencies. So, how do you protect yourself from this final manipulation? According to Carl Jung, the key is understanding what he called differentiated compassion. You can feel empathy for someone's struggles without feeling responsible for solving them. Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. This means cultivating a compassionate yet firm stance, being empathetic without taking on their problems as your own. When a narcissist tries to pull you back into old patterns, even through crisis, you have to ask yourself, is helping me become who I truly am, or is it preventing me from that journey? This question serves as a powerful safeguard, reminding you to stay aligned with your authentic self and your personal growth. Developing this awareness allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively to their manipulations, protecting your evolving sense of self. Jung's final insight about narcissists will change how you see every relationship. He discovered that narcissists fear your strength because it reminds them of their own potential for growth, potential they've abandoned in favor of control and manipulation. When you refuse to shrink yourself to make them comfortable, you're not just setting a boundary. You're showing them what's possible when someone chooses authenticity over approval. This shift in perspective can be empowering because it demonstrates that true strength lies in self-awareness, self-acceptance, and integrity. It also sends a clear message that you value your journey of self-discovery more than temporary validation. And that's exactly why narcissists will fight so hard to pull you back down, because your authenticity exposes their own fears and limitations. But here's what Carl Jung wants you to remember. Every time you resist their manipulation, every time you maintain your boundaries despite their manufactured crisis, you're not just protecting yourself. You're proving that their power over you is always an illusion. Each act of standing your ground weakens their control and reinforces your independence. Jung said that true strength isn't about being immune to manipulation. It's about recognizing it, naming it, and choosing your authentic self anyway. When you do this consistently, you reclaim your power and demonstrate that your well-being and integrity are non-negotiable. Over time, this unwavering stance will diminish their influence and reinforce your sense of self-worth. Remember, your strength is your greatest weapon against their ongoing attempts to control and undermine you. Because at the end of the day, their desperation to control you is just proof of how powerful you've already become. The narcissist's final dirty trick only works if you forget who you are. But once you see it for what it is, a last desperate attempt to reclaim control, you realize that their need to manipulate you is actually evidence of your freedom. Recognizing this shifts your perspective from feeling victimized to understanding that their efforts are a reflection of your strength and independence. It's a powerful realization that your refusal to be controlled is the true source of their fear. Carl Jung discovered that the moment you stop being controllable is the moment you truly begin living, free, authentic, and in alignment with your true self. And no manufactured crisis, no matter how convincing, is worth sacrificing that precious freedom and self-empowerment. Thank you so much for staying with me through this exploration. If you found value in today's discussion, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who might benefit from it. Remember, understanding these psychological tactics can be life-changing, helping you reclaim your power and live authentically. Your journey towards self-awareness and strength is ongoing, and every step you take brings you closer to freedom from manipulation and control. Keep learning, stay vigilant, and always prioritize your well-being, because your authentic self is your greatest asset in overcoming these toxic dynamics.